begins after Coronation Street.
Morning, Angie. Morning, Angie. There's tea in the pot I've just brewed.
Oh, I expect you bought the tea bags. I dare say you paid the milkman. So thanks to your philanthropy, I get to drink a cup of tea.
Oh, come on, Angie. You're still not going
Yes, I am still. Just tell me one thing, Norman Watts. What makes you think you're entitled to manage my life? I could be having this conversation with my mother. She's a great one for that. And if I'd wanted someone to manage me, I'd be living at home, not here.
I merely went...
I don't see you running your own life with any startling success, but that's your right and privilege. Just don't start trying to run mine.
If by that you're talking about me paying the rent.
Yes, of course, that's what I'm talking about.
I was merely doing a friend a favour.
What you did was like shouting through a megaphone. Are you all taking notice? This is Curly Watts paying Angie's rent. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Who's a clever boy then? Makes me look like your girlfriend. Your long-time live-in girlfriend.
Well, in a way you are. You're a girl. You're my friend, and let's be frank, on occasion...
I am not your girlfriend. You are not my boyfriend. Look, if you'd said to me quietly, do you want to borrow a few quid? Fine, I'd have been pleased. I'd have said no thanks, but I'd have thought, good old Curly. But no, you had to go and pay what I owed in a nasty, ostentatious way. You're telling the world you're keeping me.
Well, you don't seem to mind when Des Barnes buys your food. Why should it be different when I pay the rent?
He asked me first for one thing. He didn't force-feed me. And while we're on the subject of Des Barnes, you made quite sure he knew you'd paid my rent, didn't you? And I know why. All part of a pathetic attempt to hang a big sign round my neck saying, property of Curly Watts, keep off.
Oh, I don't believe this. I'm going to work.
I'm paying you back, you know.
Yeah.
Every penny.
Morning, Curly. What's the matter? Got out the wrong bed this morning? Wrong bed. I like that. Morning.
What do you want?
No, I won't come in. Thanks just the same.
What are you on about?
I just strolled over the road to say thanks for last night. I really enjoyed it. Company was congenial, smashing, and would you like to come out for a few drinks tonight?
No, sorry, I can't.
Oh, I see. Curly's been planting his number 10s down, has he? Pinned up the house rules. No fraternising with men outside the house.
You must be joking. Curly doesn't tell me what to do. He wants to live. And if I want to say no to going out for a drink tonight, I will. And I'll tell you why. Because at 8:30 in the morning, I haven't a clue what I want to do at 8:30 tonight. OK? Good morning.
Dismiss.
Look, I fancy this one, John.
No. Oh, Fletcher Street, yeah.
Yeah. It's similar size to this, but it's got a back garden. Be nice to have a look at a back garden.
Hey, yeah? Who's going to do gardening?
It's only a small garden, Don. I'll do my share.
Good, because I'm not one of nature's nurserymen.
Well, what about this one, then, in Redmond Street? I mean, that ain't got a garden, but it might be worth a look at if you fancy it.
Yeah, well, I'll have a look sometime, yeah.
Right, well, why don't you pick me up after work this afternoon at Better Buys, and I'll ring estate agents and fix it up.
What, today?
Yes.
Well, you don't hang about, do you?
No, you know me, Don.
Yeah, all right, I'll collect you from work.
All right. See you later.
Do you know, if you do get that house in Coronation Street and Ivy moves out just as you move in, do you think she might get the feeling you're trying to tell her something?
I'll tell you something. I wouldn't even consider buying a house in Coronation Street if it wasn't for the fact that Ivy's moving out. You don't think I'm daft enough to live in the same street as Ivy?
No, it's called masochism. It's in this magazine I'm reading. Apparently, some women go out of the way to have painful experiences.
I'm not one of them.
No, me. Well, I might have been once. Well, I must have been to fall in love with Mike Baldwin, but never again.
Well, you keep dodging Mike and I'll keep dodging Ivy.
Yes, it's supposed to be a good time to buy a house, isn't it?
That's what Martin says.
Well, if you got the money.
That's what I keep saying. I mean, there's no way we can afford that house in Coronation Street, not unless Martin goes out to work. You know, I think that's what he wants, really. I think he's fed up of looking after kids and company with the house.
That's what they call men's lib. He'll be wanting to go up next.
Norman, Morning to you. Right, straight to business. Top of my agenda this morning. Santa Claus for our Christmas grotto. Search for the set. Any progress to report?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you're not taking somebody on, have you?
No, not yet, but I've got 2 applicants coming down tomorrow, in answer to our advert. One of them sounds very hopeful. I was very impressed when he rang me as an actor.
An actor?
Randolph Marchbanks. He's done Don at Wolford's Bottom on a provincial tour.
You know what?
It's a part, in A Midsummer's Night's Dream.
I don't think this is our man, Norman.
Well, he said once you've done Don at Wolford's Bottom, Santa Claus is a piece of cake.
Yes, but is that all it would be? I suspect it would be a glass of wine as well. They all indulge, You see, Norman, we will be exposing impressionable youngsters, better buys customers of the future to this chap. I mean, can we really have some broken mother breathing meth fumes on the kiddie winkies? I don't think so.
Well, he sounded sober when he was on the phone.
No, look, I think I've found our man. Now, let me lay this on you. Percy Sugden.
Percy Sugden?
Yes, the old soldier who lodges with Emily Bishop.
You know who he is? But Percy Sugden, you can't be serious.
Oh, yes. See, I have a nose for these things, Norman. A natural bent, so you might say. After all, I appointed you, didn't I? Well, Percy Sugden, he's of the old school. Punctual, sober, reliable.
I didn't even know he'd applied for the job.
Well, he hasn't yet. This is where you'll come in, right?
Mr. Sugden's feelings are so easily hurt. I can't just tell him I don't want him in the charity shop because he puts people's backs up. Listen, try and steer his mind towards his Christmas job at Better Buys. They want a Santa Claus.
Mr. Sugden would never get that.
Actually, he would. Absolutely, between you and me. I asked Reg Holsworth, as a favour, to give him the job.
I see. I do hope that wasn't a mistake on your part, Rita, asking Mr. Holsworth a favour.
Well, I must admit it gave me a qualm, but I just closed my eyes and thought of you.
Well, I appreciate the sacrifice. If I can influence Mr. Sugden, I will. Thank you.
Hello, Angela. Hello. Now, if it's about your back rent, forget it. Curly came in last night and paid it.
I know he did. That's why I'm here.
Something wrong?
Well, he shouldn't have. Well, I don't mean you shouldn't get your money.
Cheer up. Thanks, love.
Hello, Angie. I mean, I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. Me and Curly split the expenses down the middle. We share the house. That's all we share.
Never thought any different.
Oh, good. Well, I just wanted to make sure. Bye.
Ta-ra, love.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't more to that relationship than she lets on.
Right, Aunt Mavis. There's not much gets past you, is there?
Thanks very much. Ta-ra.
Well, you're not spending my money again, I see. What you been treating yourself to now?
Nothing. I've been treating you. Well, I've been treating the shop, which amounts to the same thing. Christmas decorations for you.
Those look snazzy.
The finest money can buy.
How much?
Oh, well, now, see for yourself. You see, I got a receipt so you can claim it back off the tax man.
Good girl, at least you're learning it. Blimey, O'Reilly, what they made of beaten gold?
Oh, stop moaning. You were only going on the other day how you're going to have to compete with Better Buys flash decorations. So there you are now. I've done my bit. So get on with it. If you shape up, you can have them up by dinner time.
No, I'll come in on Sunday and do it.
Sunday? What are you on about?
I'll tell you what I'm on about. Half the people in this country are sick to death of having Christmas shot at them from all the shops earlier and earlier. It starts in September with some of them, and it's same wherever you go. Boxing Day, they're on about holidays on the box. Then mid-January, they start with Easter eggs. That tinsel goes up on the 1st of December and not before. Us small shopkeepers have got to stick together and take a lead. It's a matter of principle.
Mr. Patel in Rosamond Street has got his up.
I'll get the ladder.
Mr. Sugden, might I have a word?
Certainly, yes.
Look, I don't know if you've heard, but we're looking for a Santa Claus for the Better Buy Christmas grotto. You know the kind of thing, talking to the kiddies, asking them if they've been good for Mummy, what they want for Christmas.
Yes.
Well, would you be interested?
I'm not with you.
Well, would you be interested in being Better Buy Santa Claus?
Oh, it's out of the question.
It's very good money.
It's nothing to do with money. Now, there's Christmas, if you want my opinion. No, but that's beside the point. I'm not available. Mrs. Bishop's depending on me. She's not in a very good way without me in that shop, you see.
I see. Well, as long as we know. Thank you very much, Mrs. Sugden.
Okay. Strange lad, is that, you know, Mrs. Bishop? Now then, Mrs. Bishop, what is it? A medium sherry, is it?
Let me get you a drink.
No. A medium sherry when you've got a minute, please.
Right with you, Mr. Sugden.
Thank you.
Some news for you regarding the charity shop, Mr. Sugden.
Oh, yes.
Mrs. Craig has kindly offered to help out.
Craig? Craig? I don't recall that.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure you know her. However, as I say, she's volunteered, so I won't, in fact, be needing your attendance in the shop.
But, Mrs.
I
Bishop, when you
appreciate
first-
your kind offer, but won't be required.
But I volunteered before this, Mrs. Craig.
She recently lost her husband, Mr. Sugden, so she needs something to fill her time and take her mind off things. I mean, taking her on in the shop is a charitable act in itself, and I know you wouldn't stand in the way of that.
No, not when you put it like that. But I need to keep busy as well, you know, Mrs. Bishop.
Of course you do, I understand that. By the way, I believe Better Buys are looking for a Santa Claus. That could be just the thing for you.
2 more bacon sandwiches, please.
Hi. How's business?
Well, it's how it looks. And what you see is how it is.
Well, it could be better, couldn't it? You're not exactly packed out, are you?
Well, what do you suggest? You think I ought to go and drag people in off the street?
No, I was just thinking, every chair that's empty at lunchtime's costing you money.
Look, if it was any busier, we couldn't cope. I mean, we're rushed off our feet as it is.
So get some more hands, work experience, youth opportunity. It's cheap enough.
Look, what's it got to do with you anyway? I mean, you might be our landlord, but this is my business, you know, mine's and Gail's.
I'm just taking an interest, that's all.
Well, don't! I'm not interested in what you do, and I don't want you interested in anything that I do. Just stay away, for God's sake, just stay away and leave me alone!
All right, Alma, all right. Look, would you mind going, please? We just haven't got time for this.
You know what's wrong with you, don't you? You're all tense, you're all wound up. That's because you're not being looked after properly. Now, what you want is a man in your life. All you got to do is whistle.
This Sunday, you can collect 2 more of my brand new recipes. Look for the Easy Clean Cookery card, free with You magazine and the Mail on Sunday.
In a large frying pan, heat 2 knobs of butter. Add a dash of Sainsbury's sesame oil, then 2 sticks of chopped celery, and a little crushed garlic. Now add 1 pound of Sainsbury's large peeled prawns. Stir fry for a minute, then pour in about 1/3 of a cup of fish stock. Add 3 teaspoons of Sainsbury's Dijon mustard. Thicken with a little corn flour and a splash of medium sherry. Bring to the boil and then stir in a small carton of double cream. Season and sprinkle on some freshly chopped coriander. Serve piping hot with long grain and wild rice. Absolutely scrumptious.
Sainsbury's, everyone's favourite ingredient.
By the look in your eyes,
Paul Young.
I can tell you're gonna cry.
His new album, From Time to Time.
Come on in, set on the
A collection of greatest hits and new songs.
Hey now, don't dream it so.
The album is From Time to Time.
Every time you go away.
The very best of Paul Young.
The Yates annual Christmas gift sale is now on, with huge savings on real gold, watches and diamonds. And this Friday and Saturday only, there's an extra 25% off everything. 25%? There must be crackers. Christmas crackers. An extra 25% off everything, this Friday and Saturday only.
A little while ago I dropped in on Tony and Dean, now we're going to drop in on British Gas. You wanted to know about the future? Well, I'm going to show you something that could be the transport of tomorrow.
It's just a van.
That's what you think.
Well, this is a van that runs on natural gas.
We're off to see a 13-foot pig. Pig? In you get.
In 10,000 miles of pipeline, it can pinpoint a fault to within 6 feet.
The future's not just about technology.
Well, British Gas help us to give 5,000 youngsters a chance to take part in football and various other sports. Good control.
British Gas, don't you just love being in control?
Relax. You'll find lots of Christmas present ideas in the BHS Christmas catalogue.
I'm sorry, Gail. I shouldn't have shown myself up like that.
Oh, come on. Wasn't that bad?
Customers clocked it.
So what? Doesn't matter what they think.
Yes, but it matters what I think, though, doesn't it, about me? And I tell you, it's not much. You know, it gets to me, Gail. And when it gets to me, well, it makes me go all unreasonable.
I had noticed.
What am I going to do?
Get used to it. You can handle it.
Not sure that I can. And it shows. I mean, he walks in here and he says something that's quite innocuous coming from somebody else, and I go right up in the air like a rocket. I think he enjoys it.
What does Ken say about it?
Ken? Oh, he says nothing. Well, we never talk about it. I mean, Mike Baldwin is a very touchy subject.
Why?
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't tell you. Anyway, Mike Baldwin is my problem, not Ken's. Do you know, I just wish I could find a way to show him he's wasting his time trying to get to me the way he does.
Hey, this is a game, Norman, eh? The game for gentlemen.
I thought that was polo.
Polo? Never in this world. Say rugby's a hooligan's game for gentlemen, and soccer's a gentleman's game for hooligans. Well, polo's hooligan's game for hooligans. You see, Norman, with golf, gentlemanly conduct is built into the game itself. Nobody's throwing pennies at your head. Nobody's trying to break your leg. Nobody's charging at you, waving a long mallet. Nobody's shouting obscenities.
Yeah, I often wondered what you saw in it.
Have you collared old Sugden yet?
I did, and I offered him the job.
And?
He doesn't want it.
He doesn't want it? A plum job like that and him an impoverished old age pension, you can't have put it to him properly.
I did, he just wasn't interested. However, the good news is Randolph Marchbanks is still available. I talked to him on the phone. And you'll be glad to hear, he's had experience working with children. He was the back legs of the horse in Robin Hood.
First it was Donald Wolfe at the bottom. Now it turns out he's back end of an horse. There's a pattern building up here, Norman, and I don't like it.
But what we're going to do? We're running out of time. We need to find a Santa.
I'll leave it with me. I'll tattle old Sugden. He needs handling, that's all. Right. Oh, yes.
You know, Mrs. Fairclough, you just can't help some people. They won't let you. Now, Mrs. Bishop, she's making a rod for her own back.
How's that?
Well, you know me, I'm not one to blow my own trumpet. You'd have to go a long day's march before you found anybody more organised and more methodical than myself. But she still won't make use of me in that charity shop.
Well, I did hear she'd asked Mrs. Craig to help her.
Well, what I've heard about this Mrs. Craig, she's more likely to be an hindrance than a help. So while Mrs. Bishop is working herself to a shadow, I've got to be standing idly by.
Oh, well, that won't suit you, Mr. Sugden. You're better off keeping busy. Now, why don't you go down to Better Buys? Because I hear they're after a Santa Claus for their grotto.
Oh, now, don't you start. I've had young WhatsApp at me and I've had Mrs. Bishop at me about it.
I take it then that you're not interested in working as Santa Claus, Mr. Sugden?
No, I'm not.
Well, I think you're very wise. I don't think it would suit you at all.
What makes you say that?
Well, it's all to do with dealing with young children, isn't it? I mean, you need somebody who's tolerant and patient and, well, jolly. No, I think you're quite right. I think it's one of the greatest gifts in the world, is that, being able to recognise your own limitations.
I'll just pay for the sweets, Mrs. Fairclough, and I'll bid you good day.
What's the matter with him?
Well, that's your Christmas present sorted out, lady. I shall buy you a book on how to win friends and influence people.
Hiya.
Hello.
It's very good.
It's not. It's weak, hesitant and derivative.
Are you being too hard on yourself? I'll tell you what. I'll make us both something to eat and then we'll go for a few beers, if that's agreeable.
No.
Ah, I see. You've got other plans for tonight then.
Why?
Nothing. I just wondered.
My plan is to have a quiet, lonely, depressed night in.
So you're not going out with Des Barnes again then?
No, I'm not, though he did ask.
So you turned him down. Well, I think you're being very wise.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, well, Des Barnes, he's all right as far as he goes. But let's face it, the only book he ever opens is the form guide. He's not an intellectual, is he? He's not interested in things of the mind and spirit. He's not like me and you.
Curly, we are not a pair. We are not a couple.
All right, you have to keep going on about it.
Well, I think I do, because the way you talk, you make people think we are. People like Rita Fairclough and some other people, I suppose. Well, I did plan to have a quiet night in, but I can see I'm going to have to change my mind.
So where are you going?
I'm going to see if Des Barnes' invitation still stands.
Hiya.
Des, I was a bit stroppy with you this morning.
Were you?
Yeah, I was. When you asked about going for a drink.
Well, don't feel badly about it. I've had ruder turn downs.
Well, anyway, if you still fancy it, going for a drink.
Yeah. Great, tonight.
Why not?
Come in a minute. Get myself spruced up.
I mean, when Mike Baldwin comes in with his big con man grin, I mean, it is annoying, but Alma takes it personal. Mind you, I suppose it could be personal to her. You know what I think?
Yeah. I mean, no.
So give me more then. I think that she's never got over Mike, despite what she's got going with Ken. And you, I could be wrong. You're not listening to me, are you?
I am.
What's on your mind? Kids give me a hard day.
No, I've been all right. It's that house on Coronation Street.
Oh, not tonight, Martin. It's been a long day.
Yeah, well, just listen, will you? I saddled up the pushchair this afternoon and me and the kids went and called in on the estate agent.
What for?
To have a chat about number 8 Coronation Street. I told them we were interested now they dropped the price down to 41,000.
Oh, Martin.
In fact, I made an offer. 38,000.
You did what?
I said I knew they'd come down a long way already, but all the same, no one was snatching their hand off, were they? So, how about 38?
You are kidding me. I mean, you didn't really do anything.
So the bloke said, well, he said he didn't know, etc., etc., but he said he put our offer to the vendor.
Martin, you're mad. You shouldn't be doing any of this without me. I mean, even if they bring it down to 38,000, we haven't got 38,000.
Yeah, but that's what they have mortgages for, Gail. I mean, we're not committed to anything, are we? Even if the guy turns round and says, OK, Mr. Platt, you can have it for 38,000. We don't have to have it if we don't want. But if we do want, well...
There we are, look.
There, Betty, love. Have one yourself.
Oh, Tom. Hey, how are you and young Kevin doing in this garage?
All right. He does the job, I say that for him. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see him in a couple of minutes.
Good lad, young Kevin. So the business is doing all right then, eh?
Well, considering things are tough all round, yeah, not bad at all.
Good.
Oh, there she is. My favourite cafe owner. What you going to have?
Nothing, thank you. Can I have a gin and tonic?
I'll get that.
No, look, I said no, thank you. Look, I don't want to talk to you and I don't want to drink with you. I'm just here to meet Ken, right?
A bloke like that's no good to you, unless you've changed and taken up knitting.
Look, you know nothing about it.
How we are, love? Thanks, Doc.
I know everything I need to know about you and everything I need to know about him.
Look, I'm just going to sit over there and wait for Ken.
Don't bother. Got to run a little errand. Back in a few minutes, though, you, me and Ken can have a threesome. Talk over old times. There you go.
Well, we thought that this one were best looking, Fletcher Street. I mean, well, I thought so, and you liked it, didn't you, Don?
Yeah, it's not a bad house.
Oh, well, you're not moving far then. Only I know Fletcher Street. I mean, it's not on my delivery round, it's only just outside it. I would have thought you were planning to move further afield.
No, we just fancied a change.
Does you good now and then. Stops you getting in a rut.
Yes, and it's got a lovely garden at the back, so we can have a slide put in it open when kids come calling round.
Hi, am I late?
No, actually, I was early.
Half three, Betty, and...
Oh, no, I'm all right.
Mr.
Sugden, just a man. May I have a tiny word?
Well, you will, even if I say no.
I'm a realist, I like that. Will you partake of a refill?
Thank you.
Liz, Mr. Sugden's poison, please.
Coming
I'll
up.
have a whiskey and soda, and of course your own classic.
Thanks, Reg.
Right, I won't beat about the bush. This morning I sent a lad on a man's errand.
Young what, you mean?
Exactly. And obviously he failed to make clear, Mr. Sugden, why Better Buys hoped that you would take up our Santa Claus at Christmas. And it's not for lack of aspirants, oh no. We have famous actors, household names, willing to participate. But we're not looking for glamour. No, or even good looks. We are looking for a far, far rarer quality. And that is why we're looking to you, because what we are seeking, Mr. Sugden, is integrity. Yes, integrity. Because when some small child, his little face alight, his little heart aglow, sits on Santa's knee and he looks up into Santa's face, he wants to know instinctively that here is some person who will go through flood and storm, strike a reindeer, break down a sleigh to get down that chimney and fill his little stocking. Now, Mr. Sugden, do you understand why you are the man we want?
Aye, well...
Well, what do you think?
Well, I'll say yes on one condition.
Oh, name it. Well, I'll not be Santa Claus for you because that's a German invention and I won't all with it. But I'll be an old English Father Christmas for you.
I accept that. Father Christmas, you shall be. Thank you.
Would you mind if we went somewhere else? You know, I don't fancy this place tonight.
Sure. Get back to my place if you like. I've got a bottle of wine somewhere.
And Harry Wilson paid cash for that service. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's great. Not been a bad week.
Yeah, I tell you what, we'd look a bit sick if we hadn't got that contract from your pal's firm.
All the same, it's not been bad.
Yeah, well...
Do you want a cup of tea, Mr. Baldwin?
No, thanks, love. Thanks for asking, but I've got a bit of unfinished business to do at the Rovers.
Fair enough.
Right, see you later.
Yeah, see you soon.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Good night.
Yeah? Yeah, no. Will it wait?
No.
Oh, well, in that case.